Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Rapid Fire Q&A. I am your host, Scotty Milas, founder of Rapid Fire Q&A, along with my counterpart and someone who I've gotten to know, like I said, every time we do this over the many, many years. We were just talking about family, but welcome Wendi Hill,
Thank
founder
you.
and president of Market Momentum. I would also encourage my listeners to check out Wendi Hill and some of the podcasts she's doing. Just some great information and a lot of fun to listen to. So if you want a
Thank you.
change of direction, um, again, I am your host, Scotty Milas, theperfectfranchise.com, scottmilasfranchise.com, and scottmilasfranchisecoach.com. And of course, don't forget our podcasts channel, all things considered franchising.com, and all the franchises on all of the normal podcast where you listen to your podcasts. Wendi, we have a bunch of questions today, I guess, huh?
We do. And some of these are kind of tough, I think. So I'm interested to see how you answer them. So are you ready?
I am as ready as I'll ever be.
Okay, here we go. Number one, how much should lifestyle factor into choosing a franchise?
Uh, you know, this is an interesting question because one of the questions we like to do during my one of the questions I like to ask during my franchise strategy session is the why, the goal.
Right.
And I would say the number one, if not number one, it's number two, is the why is that I want to spend more time with family. I'm tired of the rat race. While that is a great reason to think about business ownership, it doesn't necessarily get to the goal of lifestyle. So I think there are two aspects to look at this. If you're looking at a retail type business or interested in retail, that is a 7-day a week
Mhm.
open business in most cases. If you're looking at a service-based business, work from home, B2C, B2B, you are what we call in traditional hours, banking hours, that Monday through Friday, maybe the occasional Saturday. So all that comes into play in developing that lifestyle. Keep in mind also that the lifestyle change doesn't automatically happen from day one. You have to
Right.
build your business and get to the lifestyle that you want. For me, I have certain days of the week that I start later than I start earlier, but
Right.
I've built up to that. So lifestyle is important, but you also have to frame it and look at it as getting to that point in your lifestyle. So hopefully that answers the question. But to break it down again, retail 7 days a week, not that you have to be there, 14, 15 hours a day, but your store is open. And service-based B2C, B2B are typically your Monday through Friday. Traditional hours, 8 to 5, 9 to 5, with the occasional Saturday.
Okay, good. That does answer it. Number two, what's one question you should ask during validation that most franchisees won't volunteer on their own?
This goes to the 6-step validation process that's outlined that when we work with our clients, that I work with my clients as far as how to validate and validate a brand. Um, the common the common theme lately has been the pushback of, well, what if we go into a recession, or if there's a downturn in the economy? The other one is the big one that's really coming up to play is AI. How is that going to affect my business? So I always encourage my clients now to ask the questions when they're doing the validation. And follow that 6-step analysis. How is AI helping you get clients? How is it helping you service the clients? And we go down the list of those 6 steps. I won't go through them now. And then the same thing about getting yourself set if there is an economic downturn. I believe, and a lot of great consultants that have been doing this for a long time, that a lot of great business owners, whether you're an independent or a franchise owner, know how to zig and zag during economic downtime. And that's when they actually thrive, because the weaker business owners have kind of, just don't know how to handle it. So it's
Right.
preparing yourself. So those are the questions that I'd like to ask in validation or suggest to my clients for validation when they're talking to franchisees and even the franchisor. If there is a recession or a downturn in the economy, Mr. Developer or Mrs. Developer, how are you preparing your franchisees to handle that?
Okay. That's good.
So hopefully that answers the question.
Number 3, what metrics should serious buyers examine beyond item 19?
Another great question, and it really is to the solvency, the status, of the brand itself. And the FDD, the franchise disclosure document, speaks a lot of this into the numbers about the brand. You certainly don't want to, and we vet our brands very cautiously when we bring them into inventory. So I'm not overly concerned about our portfolio, but you still have to do some validation and check on the brand itself. So it's
Right.
one thing to find out how the franchisees are doing, but if the brand itself is not solvent or financially strong, i.e., to be able to pay its bills or to invest in technology or AI or marketing or new initiatives, new products, new services, then I would question whether that's actually a solid brand to invest in. So those
Okay.
are some of the other things that you may want to ask in validation directly with the franchisor when you're talking to them.
Okay. Good. Number 4, what's the biggest strategic mistake experienced business owners make when entering franchising?
If I read into the question, if we're taking an independent business owner who's
Mhm.
now going into franchising, and let's use that
Right.
scenario, I think the biggest mistake is that, and we call it preconceived bad habits that they're bringing
Yeah.
in from the independent. It doesn't mean that they failed or whatever, but they're trying to bring in that strategy into the franchise. But they don't realize that that strategy is already implemented through the process, the playbook that the franchisor has already created success.
Okay.
So, I had this conversation the other day with a client of mine that I'm working with, and we were going through franchising. They pretty much asked the same question a little differently, but it's kind of interesting because when you look at the bigger brands, the McDonald's, or you know you can even throw Chick-fil-A into the matter. A lot of those people that are involved with those franchisor owners don't necessarily have industry or food experience. Matter of
Right.
fact, most franchisors don't want that experience. So if you're cautious as an independent going into a franchise, you got to remember that a lot of the things that you're running your business with, or how you are running your business with, won't necessarily relate or pass on to or count. What's the word I'm looking for? Carry over
Right.
to a franchise operation.
The process is just different. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Good, good, good. So number 5, is it smarter to start with one unit or go all in with multiple units?
I think there's a strategic mindset here, to be to strategize. If you're working with someone like me, a consultant, and I spend time with my clients on this. If you're trying to do this solo, or even working with another consultant, you really want to do a market analysis on and tie it into what your short and long term financial goals are. Do I encourage my clients to go out and buy 25, 30, 10, 15 units or territories at a time? No. But you want to make sure that you're able to scale to get to your income projections, because one territory and one unit may not get you there. And that's
Right.
part of that validation process. If you do need 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 locations to get to your goals, financial goals, then yes, investing in multi-territory, multi-unit is something to really consider, because you want to lock in that territory. What you don't want to happen is you open your one unit and then everybody starts coming into your store and says, wow, this is great, I want to have one of these. I mean, I may be exaggerating or embellishing a little bit. And then all of a sudden the market outside of your area is already taken. So now you're playing hopscotch and you're jumping over that next territory to get to the next territory.
Right.
And that just creates, so you want to kind of have that area where you can manage, it's capable
Okay.
of managing. So I hope that answers the question to the person who asked it, that you want to be smart about it, but you don't want to uh, over extend yourself by committing to
Too many.
um, too many.
Right. Right. Now here's our last question. What's more important, strong systems or strong local relationships?
I think you have to have both to be successful.
Right.
I actually talked to somebody yesterday, is very interested in business ownership, but they're moving from one state to another state. And I said, well, have you ever lived in the new state that you're moving to? And they said, no, we're just trying to get closer to family now that our family, the kids, cousins. I said, well, I would encourage you to move first, and then let's talk about a business then, because you want to get to know your community. The other part of it is the systems have to align with the community, because the territory may be available where you're living now, but and the systems align with it. But if you're moving to another state or a local area, those systems may not align. So there's a combination to play at and work at both. And when we talk about systems, we're really talking about the market outreach, the marketing. So that's really where you want to find the systems are working. And of course, is there real estate available and so forth.
Right.
But the brand spent a lot of time with people on the due diligence side answering those questions directly.
Well, great. Those are all great answers. That's all I have for this month.
Hey, this is great. We will be making an announcement. I believe we're all set up for March, correct? For the
We
next
are.
rapid fire Q&A.
I've got to
Okay.
look at the date, but yeah,
Yep.
we're already
In
set.
March, we'll be announcing that. Again, this is Scotty Milas, your host. We've been talking with also Wendi Hill, president and founder of Market Momentum. If you need to reach me or have questions regarding business ownership, exploring franchising, our educational process, you can reach out to me at scotty@theperfectfranchise.com or scott@scottmilasfranchisecoach.com. As I mentioned earlier, visit our podcast, allthingsconsideredfranchising.com. And any suggestions for questions, tag me on LinkedIn, send me an email. We get a lot of questions in each month, so we're selective, but that's about it. So go have a great week, rest of the week, everybody. And it has been great to talk with you. This is
Thanks.
Scotty Milas saying goodbye.
Bye. Take care.
Bye.